Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Just Open It, the YouTube series in which I open recently acquired toys. My name is Russ. Thank you very much for watching this. I really appreciate it. If you're a fan of toys, action figures, pop culture in general, please subscribe to my channel, Karaoke Fanboy TV. I do plan on opening a new toy every week, and today I am opening Nightwing from McFarlane Toys Super Powers line. You can see that I acquired him at a discount, and I'll be honest, quite some time ago I acquired this figure at a discount. So this isn't one like he's been sitting around on the pegs for the last year and a half. I picked him up like a year and a half ago at this price, and it was quite a surprise at the time. So I snatched him up as I had been buying all the superpowers then. I do like this line specifically for its vehicles. Such a cool kind of retro vibe that McFarlane Toys is throwing out with the vehicles in the superpowers line, but I'm starting to get a little torn or frustrated on the figure choices that have been available lately, because it's just a lot of Batman. It's a lot of variant figures, Gold, Flash, and I just want straightforward. Here's the character, and maybe you got to include a Batman or Superman variant in every wave to get it to market, so stores like Walmart and Target understand what they're carrying at all. Okay, those are Batman toys. Batman and his friends. We take for granted our knowledge of these universes, but for, a big box store like Walmart, I assume they just want to carry Batman toys, period. They don't really care about, like, Red Tornado or whatever. So with that said, I get it, but at the same time, it's just kind of becoming too much. And what really disappointed me is when I picked up the Tim Drake Robin, I opened him. I kind of commented that I wish he had a black cape, and then like a black caped Robin came out very shortly after. But I already spent $10 on one Robin, and I don't know if I want to invest $20 in literally the same figure, the only difference of which being the cape, the cloth cape. So now I'm just kind of ranting a little bit, but all in all, it's cool to see this brand back on the pegs. It's super cool to pair these new toys with our vintage figures. And here's the deal. This is going to be the make or break video, I think. Because I have my vintage Batman here at the ready. I'll grab it. His cape has been lost to time, but this is a vintage Superpowers Batman that's a part of my collection. I love this Batman figure. I played with these toys so much when I was a kid. I mean, these are like the definitive DC figures to me. Even today, with all the other cool DC action figures that have been made available through DC Direct and Mattel and what have you. This is it for me, and McFarlane Toys is doing a good job, but that's for the adult collector. These were for kids, and these are a part of this spirit, right? So here's the deal. If this Nightwing is in proportion to this Batman, in other words, I don't think Nightwing should be taller than Batman, okay? This is so, like, nerdy, but if this figure is in proportion to that Batman, I'm going to continue buying Superpowers figures, but not the variants. I don't need 20 Batman. I'm just going to get like Sinestro and that 3-pack with Vigilante and so on. I'll go all in on the additional characters that I can add to my shelf alongside all the other Superpowers. So I'm completing kind of the DC universe at that scale, right? But if Nightwing is even a smidge taller than Batman, I'm going to call it quits on this line, and wish you the best if you're continuing to buy it, because it is cool, it's nostalgic, I get it, and the vehicles are awesome. I mean, it's so hard to resist, like the Brainiac's brain chip. Even the debate about whether or not it actually existed was super cool, because it just added some spirit to toy collecting that I think hasn't been in there a while. Everything's so spoiled, right? The Toy Fair happens, and everything is revealed, and you know it's coming out, that every now and then, a surprise like Brainiac's brain chip is just what we need to kind of breathe a second wind into lines like this. So I'm all for that stuff. Surprise us. Just drop the toys in the store. And then, I didn't hear anything about this. Well, we never did when we were kids. We just discovered them in the toy aisle. We weren't trolling the internet, like waiting for announcements for toy releases. We just discovered them in real time and bought them. So man, I'm on a ranty mood. But I guess that's what Nightwing brings out of me. Here we go. Package is open. Trash. I do love that he comes with the little, gosh, what do you call those, bow sticks or something? And I threw the package. Normally I like to read the origin too, but I've editorialized a lot. Awesome sculpt. Looking good. I love the Robin concept, the idea that Batman tried to help a kid, sparing him his grief by bringing him into the superhero world, and then that kid grows up and becomes a responsible adult in the vigilante Nightwing. So, standard, solid, looks great. I mean, Nightwing's costume has minimal detail, so I like that both arms can obviously hold these little weapons. Legs are bending here at the knee, kind of signature superpower stuff if you're familiar with that old Kenner line. I'm just going to put these things in his hands. I mean, and what's so funny is, like, these are literally just little dowels of plastic. There's nothing fancy about these whatsoever. They almost look like something you would have clipped weapons off of back in the day. But now they're weapons themselves, which is very cool. But I like it. I like him. He's great. But how will he stand next to his mentor, Batman? Let's find out right now. Put these two characters side by side. I'm going to do it here in front of me on the table so I can see it. I have to do like a back-to-back here. Oh my gosh, it's so close. It's so close. It's so close. Okay, I'm going to hold them up to the camera. What are you seeing there? Oh, I slipped. What are you seeing there? It's hard to tell. It's hard for me to tell. I can't do the lift here. So, I mean, they look like they're the same height, which, you know, is okay. Robin grew up, but these Superpowers figures do have bulkier torsos for sure. The Batman figure is pretty slender in comparison, just shoulder width wise. I'm not sure what the best way to represent that is, but you can kind of see that there. And maybe that's because these figures are accommodating a mechanism where there is a superpowered feature. Remember, you squeeze their legs and they punch, or in some cases, like the Flash, they would run. His legs would wiggle instead of his arms there. Nightwing does not have that kind of special feature, despite the title or the brand Super Powers. There are no superpowers exhibited here. He is just a stagnant figure with points of articulation, no mechanism. And I got to admit, I'm still on the fence about this. Maybe Sinestro will be... I'll grab my vintage Hal Jordan and John Stewart, actually, and have Sinestro side by side with them to see how their proportions line up. Because here's the thing, what I'm getting at, if I haven't said it clearly enough, is if I have a Superpowers Batman, which I do, and I did buy one of the new ones, by the way. I did buy the first new Superpowers Batman. But if I have this figure that I so love, it is in great shape, and can stand and be displayed and so on, why do I need another one? That's it. Why do I want to spend, you know, and maybe it's just $10 now, but if you're putting out 5 different versions of Batman, he's gold, he's black, he's got the gray and blue, that's $30 right there for the same figure. And that's just not my style, I guess. If you're into comprehensive collecting, you need everything with that Superpowers brand on it, then of course I get that. I've had that mentality and attitude with some toy lines in the past. In this case, these figures were so quintessential to me. They really cannot be improved upon. Their sculpts, the paint. This defines what DC superheroes are to me. And I love that we're going deeper with some modern characters here. I love that I have a Tim Drake, and here's Dick, and we got John Stewart over there. I'm just looking at them on a shelf right over here. The Batman Who Laughs. I don't think that new Darkseid really tops the old Darkseid. Maybe he has more detail with that kind of modernized Jim Lee design, but man, that old Darkseid had the clear, kind of translucent red plastic on his head so that when you held him under a light, his eyes glowed. That was like a red plastic piece built into the sculpt of his head. Such a simple thing, and yet when I was a kid, it was so cool that I could create the Omega Beam effect with a light, with a flashlight. So neat. So, again, those are great toys. It's hard to improve upon their sculpt and innovation. McFarlane Toys is doing a great job in adding to the roster of characters. And I guess that's all I'm interested in when it comes to this modern incarnation of superpowers. I really don't need a legion of Supermen on my shelf at this scale. Not anymore, anyway. So, I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Are you collecting everything with the Superpowers brand on it? Am I just being cheap and out of touch, and I, should go all in if I like it, just to support the line in general, to kind of keep the pegs fluid so they can put new stock on there? Because I'll tell you what, here in the Phoenix market, every Walmart I go to, it's Jon Stewart, stacked from the front of the peg all the way to the back, on top of the shelf too. And I'm only seeing characters like Sinestro and stuff at GameStop. I held a Black Manta. I passed at the time. Now I understand he's quite collectible. So that's a bummer, and another reason why I would kind of step away from this line and invest in other contemporary toy lines that are more easy to find and that I like. But again, those are the characters I'm most interested in. So I can understand also why they'd be harder to find at this point. A Superpowers Black Manta just sounds awesome, of course. Sinestro, super cool. Hey, you want to do a Superman variant? Let's throw a Bizarro out there at the Superpowers scale and kind of present that as your staple Superman figure in a wave. I think that'd be cool, and I know that Bizarro's been introduced, I think, with a Bat-Zarro in a McFarlane Toys 2-pack at the multiverse scale, the DC multiverse scale. So, let's bleed that over into Superpowers and use some of those thoughts to push this line forward into the future, because I don't want to see it go away, even if I'm not collecting it. I think that it brings something to the pegs that DC doesn't have: a brightness, a nostalgia. This sounds weird, but like a ray of hope in these new but classic characters. I mean, they're just iconic at this point. So they should be out there, and they should be bright. They should be attractive to kids, cool for adult collectors too, and truly reminiscent of the superpowers that these characters have. So thank you very much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. Again, if you're a fan of pop culture, please follow this channel. Subscribe to Karaoke Fanboy TV. You can follow me on Instagram as well at AmazingAZComics. I post often about the comics and zines that I make and the comics and toys that I love. Tune in next time when I grab another toy here from the stack in my living room and I say, you know what? Just open it. I'll catch you next time.